أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Tonight we are truly honored to have in our midst a scholar of great caliber, Sayyid Zameer Jaffri, the founder and head of Sabil Media. Sayyid has got a bachelor's degree in commerce and worked for an accounting school in London, and he has dedicated over 13 years to Islamic studies in the holy city of Qom. His thesis was about soft war, jihad-e-tab'in, and its implementation on social media. He currently now channels that depth of knowledge through Sabil Media, a platform that offers rich, diverse content tailored for all age groups. From Sabil tunes engaging children with fun and educational cartoons to thoughtful content on the Quran and current affairs, Sabil Media has become a trusted source of Islamic learning in the digital space. Many of us must have come across Sayyid's impactful clips on Instagram Reels or YouTube, but tonight we are privileged to hear from him live. He will be speaking on a topic that affects us all deeply, that is how social media is shaping the minds of our children, and more importantly, how we as parents, educators, and community members can navigate this landscape and offer meaningful Islamic alternatives that nourish their faith and character. Let us open our hearts and minds and welcome Sayyid with a loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Somebody will operate the PPT. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين بالقاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيت الطيبين الطاهرين المظلومين المعصومين ولعن الله على أعدائهم أجمعين أما بعد قال الله في كتابه الكريم ولا تلبسوا الحق بالباطل صلوات پڑھتے محمد وآل محمد پر اللهم صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I'm honored and privileged to be amongst all of you. The language is English or Urdu or mix? English? Okay, so I'll try. So basically, we'll today, inshallah, try and discuss about how media works and what kind of agendas they follow and how do we combat them, inshallah, till whatever extent, inshallah, we can go. I'll discuss about few aspects, inshallah, and if you have any questions during the session or after the session, inshallah, I'm available for answer or in my capacity, inshallah. Inshallah, shukriya. Hope. First, we are in an age where we are dealing with Generation Alpha. Okay, I'll go through and explain you what Generation Alpha is. If you go on the next slide, Masoom have clearly said that you should speak to people according to their intellect, and don't force your customs on your children of your age and your era, because your children are of different generation and different era. So you need to train them according to the generation or the era that they are born in. So here the challenge comes, because we lived in an era, all of us who are sitting here, we lived in an era where we saw an era of no social media, and we also lived in an era where there is social media. for us to imagine two different kinds of life is very possible. But for the kid, it is not possible to imagine a world without social media. Earlier, the generations used to change in 15 years. Now the generation changes every 4 to 5 years. Technology changes, behavior changes, pattern changes. So the challenge that we are living in this era presently is much greater than the challenges we have been, or the parenting has been done over the years. Al-Ulbay taught us that speak to people according, next slide, speak to people according to the level of their aql. So if I'm going to speak to parents, the same way I cannot speak to the children, because children have different level of aql and you need to speak to them according to their aql and their intellect. If you go on the next slide, the generation that we are living, I mean, many of us are in generation Y or generation X, but we are dealing with generation which is generation Gen Z or Gen Alpha. So I'll go through some of the characteristics of these generations. This is a generation which has seen social media. Their approach to life is different. Their approach to happiness is different. Their approach to enjoyment and pleasure is different. Their approach to different aspects of life is different because the kind of information they're getting is very different. So, and generation Alpha is the generation which is below 15 years of age, which has huge challenges, not only us, but the people who are in the field of education, whether they're in West or East, everybody says the challenges they are facing to educate the kids below 15 years of age is extreme. Inshallah, we'll go through it. But what I want to say here is, as a parent or as a community guide, I need to understand the target audience. I cannot be myself and say, हमारे ज़माने में तो ऐसी होता था, हम लोग तो ऐसी करते थे, हम लोग को तो ये ऐसी होता था. This will not work. You need to understand them and make plans according to them. You need to understand their psychology and make plans according to their psychology. So, हमारे age में the gap was not so much. Until 1990 in India, Pakistan, there was no satellite TV. So we are talking around 35 years ago, there was no satellite TV. So there was a different world. And the generation and the concept of tarbiyat did not change so much. But in the last 35 years, because first came satellite TV, then came internet, then came media, then came social media, and now there is artificial intelligence. All these things have changed in the last 35 years. So we need to understand that we live in a very different world and the challenges that we have is different. So we look at Gen Z and those people in Gen Alpha, those people who were born from 2013 till this age. Okay. Now, when we talk about media, we need to know that there are people who actually have an agenda. So media is not a place where, okay, we think we go there for entertainment, but it's actually a battleground. It's not a playground. So there are people who have agenda and they work on the media according to the agenda that they have. So when we say shaitan, who is shaitan? Inna shaitana aduwwun mubin. Who is shaitan? Shaitan is the one who comes and whispers in my eyes. Ears. When I say waswasil khannas, what does it mean? It means it will come personally in everybody's ears and will whisper. That is only shaitan, or what? It will use the technology to ensure that agenda of shaitan is executed. That is also shaitan. Ayatollah Khamenei specifically says, these big companies who have agenda to spread the shaitani values, they are the shaitan. So we are dealing with people with organization, with movement who have an agenda. I'll explain some of the agendas inshallah through this. So अगर आपका बच्चा कोई चीज़ देख रहा है तो don't think he's just watching something. Think about that something is created to change his mind. अजान हो रही है, so we'll wait for a few minutes inshallah. Recite salawat. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay. They have it on the phone. Okay. अच्छा. No problem. Ladies लोग के लिए नहीं लगा है. Okay. 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 Okay, so there is a terminology called soft war. What soft war does is, there was a time when any community wanted to attack another community and wanted to control another community. They used to physically attack that community, or after attacking, they used to control the resources and the land of that people. That was hard war. But in 1990s, they introduced this new terminology saying soft war. What it does is, nobody comes with weapons or fight with you with weapon, but they attack you in your mind and they control your mind and your thought. So if any community is able to control the mind, thought and public opinion of any particular community without creating a physical war, the definition says soft war is a technique by which you force people to do things which they would otherwise in normal circumstances would not do. That is what is called soft war. Soft war is controlling mind, controlling thoughts, and finally controlling action. So they clearly say that we are in a soft war. Media is a place where soft war is played, and the enemies are trying to control the next generation. And the next generation will finally have the same values, same belief that the enemy has. And if the next generation loses the moral compass, loses the morals and ethics and values that you want to present, then you have lost the war. Because he will become, he might pray 5 times, but his mindset will be completely capitalist, or a woman can be completely feminist. So the value system changes. Apparent things might remain the same, but the core values of the society changes. That is what you call soft war. Ayatollah Khamenei says one of the most important aspect of enemy soft war is to eliminate and weaken the people's religious motives, which is the most important and the highest motive. Okay, I'll go through some samples so that you know how things work. You have seen this. Barbie. Barbie देखा है? हाँ? Barbie doll देखा है ना? Okay. अपने बच्चों को देते भी है. So what does Barbie do? When your girl is very small, okay, you give a toy to your girl, saying a beautiful girl is the one who is fair, who has golden hairs, who is thin. So right from the age of 3 to 4 years, the concept of beauty is put into the mind of the child. So you think you're giving a doll, but the girl is taking it as a role model for her. There was a survey done in UK in which the girls who used Barbie doll, 62% of the girls who used Barbie doll popular were portrayed as noticeably thin. 42% as a sample of popular action figures were portrayed as notably muscular. Thinness in doll was associated with sexual objectification. जो लोग Barbie doll use करते थे, they had a greater body dissatisfaction and lower body esteem at the end of the study. So majority of the girls who used Barbie, they thought, I'm not beautiful enough. Because the perception of beauty was set by Barbie. When they looked at themselves, they compared themselves to Barbie and they thought Barbie is beautiful and I'm not beautiful. The way Barbie was made, according to the BMI, only 1 in 100,000 girls could have that kind of body. So there was an image done in UK. There was a survey done in UK, a research done in UK by universities, which proved that if you use Barbie and you give your kid Barbie at the small age, this is the kind of problems that you're going to face. This is just, I'm giving you a few samples. Everything that you give to your child, it is training them to be somebody. It's not that you're giving something, okay, fine, he's just khel to raha hai. No. Subconsciously, he's creating an image and relationship with that particular object, and it has emotional bonding between him or her and that particular object. So, this is one of the samples. What are cartoons doing? Okay. I could not get all the data, but I'll just give you a few samples that you understand what cartoons are doing. First of all, the kind of change of screen that happens so fast that every 2 seconds the screen has to change for kids like Cocomelon and things like that, very, very small kids. What it does, it gives them new colors, new sound, new effect, all the bright colors. The psychological effect that it has on the kid is very different. The kid is interested in things to be very fast, to change, to have a lot of colors, and that is the real world. And when he comes back to the real world, his expectation of life becomes like the same. That is what happens. Right from the child age, they are promoting the culture and the value that they want to promote. Have you heard about Superman? Yes? The next movie of Superman that is coming, Superman is a gay. Superman doesn't have a boyfriend. It doesn't have a girlfriend. He has a boyfriend. And the main poster of Superman is there to promote LGBTQ culture. The promoters of Disney, they said, he has, I think the CEO has 4 or 5 kids. All of the kids, none of them are boy and girl. And they're all below 6-7 years of age. He's calling somebody as pure and terror and all these kind of things. And he says, it is my moral responsibility that the next generation that grows, it grows with an LGBTQ culture. So Disney is spending billions of dollars to make sure that your child becomes an LGBTQ child. So if you think, okay, it's fine, kuch to de diya, dekh liya, kya fark padta hai? No, they have an agenda. And it's not that they want to hide the agenda, they're clearly telling you what my agenda is. So if you look at this, the kind of scenes, I'm sorry for showing some of it, but this is what is being shown to your child. I've just taken 3 or 4 images. But if you go online and just search cartoons promoting sex and cartoon promoting romance for the age of 3 and 4 years, it's full. There is a game called Roadblocks. When you play that game, if you go online and do research, so games. In games, they're promoting there is a girl sitting in a room. How do you reach that girl? The boy is playing a game and he's being taught there is a girl sitting. And the girl that is sitting, she's sitting half naked there. As if she's ready for the boy to come inside. So, whether it is games, whether it is cartoons, they are promoting their own culture. So, when we were kids, we heard this song, Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa, eating sugar, no, Papa, right? Or we heard, in that, Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa, they created cartoons or animation where there are 2 Papa. And they are getting the kid ready and sending him to school. So I'm just giving you a few samples, not all of them. This is the kind of thing, whether it is romance, whether it is having multiple relations, whether it is having girls loving girls, boys loving boys, all these things are taught at the age of 3, 4, 5, and 6 years. So this is the kind of challenge that we are facing. Now, these kids, we are going through, this is one of the problems, the cultural problem that we have, and there's endless. We cannot say that if it's a war, they're attacking, and our kids are getting affected. We cannot say, mobile haath se le lo, kuch mat dikhao. First, the answer is, it's monitored viewing. Whatever your kid is watching, you first watch, you approve, and then give it to your kid. First is this thing, monitored viewing. Second is, give them substitute. बोलते हैं ना कि मसलन एक बच्चे के हाथ से छुरी लेना हो, छुरी से वो अपने आप को मार लेगा. So what you do, when you want to take the knife, you give something so that his concentration is on the better thing so that he forgets the knife. So you cannot say, there's a media, what the enemy is trying to do, whether it is through Cocomelon or through Disney or through all the platforms, we know they want to control the mind of the kid, right? You know what is happening today? I went to a madrasa, to the students, I was sitting and talking to the students of the age of 16 and 15 years, where the culture of having boyfriend and girlfriend is increasing. And it is becoming a trend to have a boyfriend. And somebody who doesn't have a girlfriend or doesn't have a boyfriend, people say he's a lallu. People say he's a naive or she is naive. So there is a peer pressure, jiske girlfriend nahi bhi hoti hai, he says, I have a girlfriend. You know the level that we're talking about? I went and asked to students that, okay, you say you want a girlfriend. They say, yes, yes. Then I asked, what about if whoever is your girlfriend is sister of somebody? What about your sister having a boyfriend? 90% of the boys said, no, 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 I don't like that. But 10% returned and said, oh, no problem. I've been told that brothers are sharing the number of sisters. This is what is happening. This is the cultural invasion we are talking about. Ghairat and haya is under attack. So they are attacking and we say, oh, it's okay, bahut bura zamana hai Maulana, aajkal to aisa hai. It's not enough. It's a war. You need to fight. They are enforcing their values. How about combating them and presenting your values in very good, high quality content so that your kids get attracted to our values and do not go to their values? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. If we think it is a war. Since last 20 years, we are talking about these issues. We are actually making no real attempt to get into the war and combat this. We're making no real effort. There is no real intent. Despite knowing the level of problems, this is what I'm talking about, few kilometers away from your city. There I spoke and they said this. We're not talking about America and UK. The penetration is so much. The teachers are complaining that kids don't have concentration. Why they don't have concentration? Because the average global concentration levels have dropped. The generation alpha today, below 15 years, is average attention span is 8 seconds. 8 seconds. They lose concentration in 8 seconds. So if you're making a reel on Instagram, first 3 seconds, if you're not able to catch the audience, they will go away. So the war is for 2 seconds and 3 seconds now. That is the kind of competition we are looking at. Definitely people like us who are tullab, who are students, and people who are community leaders, their responsibility is different to people's responsibilities. We know it's a war. We know the enemy is attacking. We know the enemy is spending millions and billions of dollars. Are we really ready to fight that war? Now, there's one difference, okay? What the enemy is doing is against the fitrat of human being. وَلَا تَلْبِسُ الْحَقَّ بِالْبَاطِلِ. What they do is they're trying to enforce the batil on haqq. But when we work, it will not happen that way because we are promoting something which is haqq and according to fitrat. The result will be, we will be able to present our view which is according to the fitrat and which will be acceptable more by the youth. So at the moment, I'll just go through the kind of kids that we have. So the generation alpha, we're talking about a world of AI. You know, the artificial intelligence today has reached different level. And every year it is changing maybe 2,000 times, 3,000 times. The speed that which it is changing is amazing. I'll give you an example. We did Quran, Urdu translation and dubbing. It took us 2 years. Then we made English Quran translation in 15 minutes. We made the audio in 15 minutes. We gave the text and TTS, text to speech technology, converted entire text into speech in 15 minutes. Apart from this, the creation of videos, creation of research, whatever we want to do, are we as community leaders or community people, are we using AI, the technology which is available today, to serve Islam? Whatever technology, there's huge potential in technology that we can use today. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, to make sure that your community remains religious, the fight was to get them to the mosque and get them to the Imam Bargah. And the Imam Bargah's role was to make them religious and make them namazi. Today, the war is somewhere else. He is on social media 4 to 6 hours every day. And you are giving madrasa 4 hours per week. So the information or training that you're giving is 4 hours per week. And the kind of content that he's looking is at least 35 hours per week. You know, when Facebook made a bot, Facebook wanted to see if somebody joins Facebook as a new viewer, what do we show to him? So there was a manager in Facebook in Germany, she resigned. She exposed this. We made a video on this. We used all the research and article. You go on Google and search today, all the articles are deleted. You'll not find it again. That is the kind of control they have. Facebook, that woman, when she said, when they created the bot showed soft pornography every 90 seconds to the person who is coming new on Facebook. What they're promoting extramarital affair. Why is there so high tendency of extramarital affair these days compared to other earlier days? Because every day they are bombarded with cultures. One of the trending videos in India, you know what it is? Wife swapping. You swap your wife. This is one of the trending videos in India on social media now, on Instagram. You think it happens just like that? Nobody plans it, nobody does it. So Facebook, that manager resigned Facebook, saying this is what you're showing, and they wanted to change. They said, no, this is part of our business. Facebook was involved in mass murder in Myanmar. When people were killed in Myanmar, Facebook Messenger was used for organizing killing. And Facebook knew it, they did not stop. In India, when Hinduism was growing, Hindutva was growing against Muslim Islamophobia, Facebook knew, the manager of Facebook went to Facebook and said, we are increasing hate in India. Because they create a bubble. It is called echo chambers. What is echo chambers? They try, for example, if I am anti-Israel, they will show me all the videos of anti-Israel. So I'll feel the whole world around me is anti-Israel. And the person who is supporting Israel, they'll show all the video. So they create echo chambers. And these echo chambers means these people live in that area. And the hate increases among them. So they knew this is happening. When they were told, they said, this is part of our business. We cannot stop it. Whether it is promoting extramarital affair, having relationship with your maid, having relationship, gay marriages, films, Bollywood, serials, you name it, everything has it. You take top 10 series of 2024, top 10 series of 2023, top 10 series of 2025. All the web series will have one agenda within them. One is extramarital affair, having illegal relationship and saying it's normal, and having LGBTQ culture. You go and do a research and you'll find this out. So if you're watching Netflix and you think, oh, I'm very smart, I can understand and I can choose. No, it's subconsciously the concept of beauty, the concept of relationship, the role modeling, everything changes with what you watch and what you hear. It's not limited that I watch, I enjoy. No. We need to create alternatives. Till the time we are not able to do that, I think we'll not be able to counter that. I think I'll stop here because otherwise I can go on. But if you have any questions, I'll be more than willing to take those questions and answer, inshallah. Thank you very much. I think time मेरा कितना था? 30 minutes था. 8:10 हुआ है. हो गया मेरा time. Okay. Yes, please. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Thank you very much. I think it's a nice question. First of all, Bora community, whether they have been able to, I'm not aware of how they have done it. How much they have been able to implement it is a question. We need to identify whether they have been able to implement or they've just announced it. First, the kid, okay, he wants his parents to get involved. The problem is, parents don't have time. Mom is in her own world, father is in his own world. If father is interested in watching IPL for 6 hours, okay, and the woman is interested to do something else, and she has to take care of the house as well, and the father has no contribution in creating positive environment, okay. So if not social media, then what? Okay. So there should be a complete, there are 4 different areas where we need to work. One is school, one is madrasa, one is friends. Creating good circle of friends for your kids. So you know who your kids' best friends are. And if they are not, for example, if you have identified that these kids have good akhlaq, and then you make friendship with their parents, right? And then try and create an environment where this kid becomes friend with that kid. So third area is having that circle of friends which are positive and which can leave positive impact on them. One of them is social media or media, okay? Controlled social media, as I said, that you should know what your kid is watching. And you should give time. If your kid is watching something, then you should watch it. For example, Sabil Media has made Yusuf or Maryam as an animation series. Alhamdulillah, we have made around 300 minutes content. So, but it's not enough. We need more content. So, what Islamic content are available right now? And how do we present it to them? And if they're watching something which is non-Islamic, it should be completely monitored. So the role of parents become very tough. और पेरेंट्स के पास टाइम नहीं रहता है. पेरेंट्स बोलता है देख तू चुप बैठ जा, तू इधर से जा, मेरे को तू कितना चिल्लाता रहता है, तू परेशान करता रहता है, करती रहती है. पेरेंट्स वांट कि मुझे रिलीफ मिल जाए, so they give the mobile and say go. So the problem is not the kid, the problem is parenting. How much parents play with the kids? Physical games. Between the age until the age of 5 years, kids want the father to play with them like a kid. So you cannot have a kid and you behave like an adult. No, you have to play with the kid as a kid. You know, imagine Imam Ali alayhi salam, when he used to look at yatim in Kufa, he used to go down and become a goat. And he used to ask those yatim kids, the orphans, to sit on his back, and he used to make the sound of a goat to please the yatim. So, when you're dealing with kids, what we need to do is make sure that we work with them. And if we give them time, I know it's difficult. Masalan, every week, 2 hours, 3 hours, take them to park, play with them. So they feel happiness with you. So when you ask your kid, which is your best time, the kid should say, playing with my parents, not watching the cartoon. Okay? And there are other things as well. Rebellious, they can become rebellious, depends upon the student, the kid and parents' relation. If the kid and parents' relation is such that there is bonding, then things are very different. Yes, what they watch should be limited, monitored. More than 45 minutes to 1 hour of screen time is dangerous. This is not what we are saying. All the research in the world is saying. It creates anxiety, it creates problem, it creates hyperactivity, it creates a lot of things which are socially problematic for the kid. So you need not more than 1 hour of screen time. मजबूरी में कभी ज़्यादा दिखा दिए थोड़ा बहुत, but monitored. Whatever they're watching, the parents should know this is what they're watching. Everything. So आपकी बात सही है, but if you lose it, that way. In India, there is a case, a boy was not given mobile. This is on YouTube, CCTV video. So the boy went inside the room, got a cricket bat, and hit his mother on the head, and the mother died. That is the kind of aggression that the kid can have in his mind. But all that happens with parenting. If parenting is rahmah and the tarbiyat is according to the fundamentals of Islam, then these things. So I need to be aware that my kid needs happiness. He wants comfort. So as a father, if I come back to the home and there are 3-4 hours, I need to give 40 minutes to the kids. हम लोग क्या problem है, we sit on the mobile and we send a message. Message says, you should give time to your kid. We're sitting at the home and we're forwarding it to 100 people and not giving time to the kid. Okay. Another question is, what alternatives can we can give to the teenager today to keep them engaged? Teenager is around, say, 13, 14 years, 15 years. It's a different challenge because the kind of things that they want to watch is more, it has more and more fight or stories or hardcore things. I personally don't know a lot of things about 12 to 14 years के अंदर क्या alternatives फिलहाल available है. But at this age, if you can get them to learn and to get them into an habit of, because at this age they want to know things. So if you can guide them to such programs, such channels, where they are watching something to gain something, to learn something. And if we give them the belief within themselves that their personality will become successful or attractive when they have more information. And let them express, because this is the age where they want to talk rather than they want to listen. So ask them to collect information, do research and present. After 13, 14 years is the age they want to, their personality is such that they want to express. And because हम लोग को parents से हम लोग को लगता है हमको तो सब आता है, we don't allow them to speak. We do not allow them to express themselves. After the age of 12, what you need to do is you need to involve them and you need to create leadership within them. Imam Hassan alayhi salam says, treat your children in a way that you're treating the next generation leaders. Train them in a way that they become next generation leaders. So next generation leaders are in your lap. So you train them in a way that they become next generation leaders. So this is the age where you give them the confidence that they're going to become the next generation leaders. So you need to, I've not done enough research for this age. So I'm not here, I'll not be able to give the answer in depth, but whatever I know, I shared it with you. Can you give me a solution, few solutions in the software? What should be number one priority? Number one priority is make a media team. Like you spend money to build mosque, spend money to build media team. Today, if you spend $100,000 on mosque, you need to spend $1 million on media. If you want to fight the real war. If you want your kids to be controlled by your feelings, by your teachings, by divine teachings, the first thing is you need, I'll explain you. In 1996, Ayatollah Khamenei came to Tehran, came to Qom, I think, or Tehran, I can't remember. He spoke amongst the ulama. There were around thousands of ulama. He said, there is an internet revolution coming and we need to make sure that we use the internet revolution to spread Islam. And if you don't do it, on the day of judgment, we will be answerable to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we did not use internet. 27 years ago, he said this, or 28 years ago. What has happened? Have we used internet to spread the message of Islam? Okay, I'll ask you, you're a Gujarati community. Do you have a Quran in an audio video format in Gujarati? If you want to teach your kids Gujarati, how much content you have in Gujarati? You have songs, poems, stories. What do you have? So we have concerns. But actually the intent to fight that war is not very strong. It will take maybe, every time we come we say, oh, there is a media war, hum log bahut kamzor hai. But till when are we just going to say? We need to fight the war. The enemy is attacking, our children are getting hurt, and we are still saying, so the intent to fight the media war, to create influencers. Your kids are following influencers, but none of the influencers are Shias. I'll tell you a story. Somebody sent us a video from London. We made a story on Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam on Sabil Toons channel. It's around 10 minutes. It was made by Haram of Hazrat Abbas. We dubbed it in Urdu. So that shows the Shahadat scene of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. So parents ने हमें वीडियो भेजा. उस वीडियो में था कि एक बच्चा तकिया लिया है. He's taken the pillow, and the scene is that Hazrat Abbas is going to the battlefield, and in the house he is also going to the battlefield using the pillow. When Hazrat Abbas is fighting, he is imitating Hazrat Abbas how he is fighting. And then when Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam's one hand is chopped, he goes like this, and when the second hand chopped, he goes like this. When Hazrat Abbas is shaheed, he falls on the ground and he calls his father and says, Baba, I have become a shaheed like Hazrat Abbas. That is the kind of impact you can have. Have we really made Hazrat Ali alayhi salam as the role model or the superhero? Why does he want to watch Superman or Batman when he has Imam Ali? Not made him as a superhero. What Ayatollah Khamenei says, you need to create these kids, Maula Ali or Ahlul Bayt, as role models. Like what? To the extent that they start living with them. Living with them means what? The curtain should be related to that. They should love to have a curtain, bed sheet, everything that they have should be around what their thought and idea is. That is how you create role models. So why can't we produce a film on Imam Ali? Why? Do we not have money? Or we don't have the intent? So if you want to do soft war, we know how enemies work, whether it is cocoa melon, whether it, for example, if you look at our society, okay, we have lori. अगर बच्चे लोग को माँ को सुलाना है, do we have anything कि हम लोग ने सिखाया है क्योंकि this is good lori, ये बच्चों को सुनाएंगे तो बच्चे लोग जो हैं माँ भी वो करेगी, बच्चे लोग भी सीखेंगे. What do we have culturally? What do we have for our kids culturally? So 20, 30 years ago, we had a lot of things. We had madrasa, we had this, we had that. Okay, 30 years ago, that was good. Are we changing? We are living in a world of AI. The potential that AI has for tabligh is huge. We are living in a different world and we do not want to get into this world. So, okay, this thing. It is very difficult to monitor 4 to 7 years old today. From avoiding watching iPad, TV and online Barbie games, parents get tired entertaining due to several responsibilities. What other solutions and alternatives can be looked into this situation? Okay, one is, you know, the desire to have nice food and my wife taking care of everything. Men needs to control this. The expectation that a man has from his wife is that she's a superwoman. If you want the kids to have good tarbiyat, then they need to, whatever you say, for the kid it is zero, it is irrelevant. Whatever he sees in the house is what his tarbiyat is. If he sees love and affection in the house, his personality will become like that. If he sees fight in the house, his personality will become like that. So 4 to 7 years old, you have a kid 4 to 7 years old, it is difficult, but what you need to do is you need to make sure that there is time, there is play time, and the kid should know what his expectation from parents is and what So there should be communication between the kid and the, because at this age, by 5, 6, 7, they understand. So you speak to them, have fun time with them, where parents, families, they play with the kids. And one of the things that we have a problem is that हम लोगों को तरबियत में लगता है कि it is our responsibility to make sure that the kid is happy. Is it our responsibility? No. Our responsibility is to do tarbiyat. The kid should have both the things, fear and mercy from parents, and the balance of both these things in his heart. हम लोग बच्चे लोग को पाला बेटा बना देते हैं. पाला बेटा होता है कि बच्चा नहीं गिर पाला बेटा पाला बेटा. वो बच्चा बड़ा होता है तो भी पाला बेटा ही रहता है. He doesn't know how to fight. He doesn't know how to take responsibilities. He doesn't know how to fail. So between 4 and 7 years, the parents should have a plan. So if your son or the kid is or the daughter is watching cartoons, say 3 hours, how can you reduce it to 2 hours? Slowly, how can you reduce and make a timetable? But what will happen is you need to create alternatives then. Families spending more time. और एक और प्रॉब्लम है, मैं बोल देता हूँ, लेकिन जो लेडीज लोग हैं फिर हमला करेंगे मेरे ऊपर. Is one of the biggest problems that we have is having less kids. This is such a huge strategic problem that our community has that you cannot imagine the loss that we are facing because of that. So if you have 2 kids, the way they play is different to when you have 5 kids. When you have 5 kids, the atmosphere in the house is very different because they have a lot of things to play with themselves. And when you have 2 kids, it is very different. When you have 5 kids, the elder kid is a trained mother or a trained father. She becomes or he becomes a leader. He knows how to solve the problem. So whenever they fight, the elder kids take care and she is the one or he is the one who settles all the problems. And if they cannot settle, it goes to the parents. But when you have 2 kids, एक बाप के पास, एक माँ के पास, तमाम. So the fundamental problem is having less kids. You have not created an environment where there are a lot of kids playing together, enjoying together. And if you look at the research, it shows if you have less kids, there are more chances of them having anxiety and depression and all these problems. मौलाना आप लोग को तो क्या है, आप लोग बोल देते हैं, सख्ती तो हमको उठाना पड़ता है. और पहले के जमाने का गेहूं और था, आज के जमाने का गेहूं और है. आज लोगों में ताकत नहीं है. Okay, all these are excuses. Today we know girls who have 6, 7, 8, 9 kids. Okay, promoting. I went to a seminar it was by BJP in UP. They thought Shia है तो अपने ही आदमी होगा. So they called me saying कि बच्चे कम होना चाहिए कि ज़्यादा. And I took the laptop and I opened the laptop and I made a presentation. Baki it was like all religious leaders came. Baki religious people came and they just said something but I made a presentation. And I told them, if you're a good human being, the best gift that you can give mankind is give them good kids or good human beings. And if you're a bad parent or bad human being, you should not even have one. Now who will say I'm a bad human being? So one of the problems that we are facing is not having enough kids. And we should take it seriously. Having more kids and then making sure that these kids get good tarbiyat, the parents create good positive environment in the society. All these things are important. I think in the last 30 years we have made huge losses by not having enough kids. You see very good family, very good people having only 2 kids. Both the kids are very nice, but we wish they had 5, 6 kids. They had financial resources, they had all the resources. The only thing that they did not have is the intent. Okay. I hope this answers the question. If you have any other objection or question, you can ask. The thing is, if you give the kid, the question is how many hours? It says 1 to 1.5 hours. It should not be more than that. If it is more than that, there is problem. Problems may manifest in different ways and different types. Social media accounts of teenagers are okay? No. Till the age of 16, whatever the kid, or 17, whatever the kid is watching, it should be monitored. Parents should have the access to the account, and the kids should know that my parent is watching. And there should be clear communication. Oh, Maulana, this is my privacy against it. There's nothing against privacy, okay? It is the responsibility of the parents to make sure that that the kid is aware what they are watching. And so if they're watching something nice, there's no problem. What do you want to hide? And if the girls and if the boys and the girls are friends with their parents, they will not hide. So if they want to watch something which is interesting, and they can tell, okay, my mom, this is interesting, this is what I'm watching. So it has to be monitored. I think it is a big problem if you don't understand what the kid is watching. You know, especially broken families. Families where there are husband-wife fighting all the time, and they think their ego is more important than the kid. This is the core. It is the ego. They know when I do this, it will spoil the future of my kid, but they still do it because of the ego. The broken families, the husbands and wives, when they fight, these kids are looking for comfort from someone else or somewhere else. Whether they're 13, 14, 15, 16 years, somebody comes and gives them respect, honor, attention, appreciation, they'll go. If the same respect, honor, attention, and appreciation is not given at home. So it's a serious issue. Social media, in our age, if somebody wanted to do guna, it was very difficult. Today, guna is very easy. Everybody knows social media account of each other. They start with Salaam Alaikum, how are you? May Allah bless you. Starts like this and ends like something else. So access is there, and it is dangerous. Especially those girls who are vulnerable or those boys who are vulnerable because of family problems. They need to, as a parent, you need to constantly talk to them, discuss with them. Is it good to encourage to learn AI? I think good, it's very good. The advantage of AI is, for example, if somebody is learning ChatGPT and DeepSeek, or how to get information from ChatGPT, the kids are using it, it's a good thing. But the thing is, the advantage is the kids have access to unlimited knowledge today. So if you go and speak somewhere, the kid is, you bring about a new topic. So if I start soft war, the kid will open the mobile and say, ask ChatGPT, what is soft war? So before the Maulana starts speaking, the kid knows what is soft war. So this is the challenge, which is good, because then the Maulana has to upgrade himself. He needs to continuously fight. So somebody told me a Maulana was reciting a majlis, somebody recorded it on audio, and send it to ChatGPT and ask the ChatGPT, how much of it was AI and how much was it real? So he came back and he said, it's a very challenge these days. When you make something, if it's AI, the kids are there, they can watch it and they can stop you. So it's a good thing that you teach them, okay, to use AI. But the challenge of AI is, for example, all of us, like 15 years ago, when somebody used to drive and they used to go from one place to another, they reached places without any Google map. Right? Right or wrong? Right. But today, you can't do it. I'm saying it's not, you don't use technology, but the ability of human being keeps decreasing. The same way when you have ChatGPT, rather than researching yourself, what ChatGPT does is it gives you information and it limits your own creativity and own research. So it gives you a direction. And 10 years down the line, ChatGPT will ensure how humans think. Because you will not search, you will not research. So when the kid is using AI, what you need to do is you need to ensure that you train him that, for example, ChatGPT मतलब फेंकता भी है. So it can tell you Imam Ali alayhi salam ने ये हदीस बोली है, but कभी बोली नहीं होगी इमाम अली ने. So जो ChatGPT पे सिर्फ dependent रहता है फंस जाएगा कहीं ना कहीं. So the kid needs to be trained that you use AI, but you should develop your own thinking and your own research and your own critical thinking at the parallel time. So with AI, the higher the AI is, the usage of AI is becoming, critical thinking will reduce. Because we will depend upon AI to think for us. And eventually, we will stop thinking. पहले हम लोग को 100 नंबर्स याद होते थे, 50 नंबर्स याद होते थे लोगों के, है ना? उसका क्या नंबर है, इसका क्या नंबर है, इसका क्या नंबर है. अभी हम लोग को अपना खुद का भी नंबर याद नहीं होता है. So this is because we are dependent on technology, the ability that Allah gave us, we are not allowing that ability to grow. This is a challenge, that human beings will become so dependent on AI that their own ability will not progress and not become. So AI is good. People should do courses in AI. They should learn AI. Now this is ChatGPT and DeepSeek are only small versions of AI. Now there are people who are making, for example, robots with AI. They are making agents. So a company right now, they make an AI and it gives the question answer database to the AI and it gives 1,000 numbers. So that AI calls from 9 o'clock to 5:45, it calls people. And it talks to people like a human being. It listens, it answers, it responds, it schedules the next call, finalizes the sale. So instead of employing 200 employees, they create 200 bots. This is one of the examples. There are thousands of things that AI can do. There's an application made by Sunnis. We also have an application called Sabil Quran Pro, which is Quran app, which we have made. But this AI function is not there. There's an application where you can recite the Quran and upload it. I mean, you recite one ayah, record it, and say send. It will check, the AI will check whether your qiraat is correct or not. And it will mark red and green. And when you click on the red, it will play the correct pronunciation so that you know where you were wrong. So the potential that AI provides today is huge, whether it is creating systems, creating a lot of things that can be done, whether it is video making, image creation, or things like that. As teachers, can we help some students who are trapped within these issues, who might not getting proper attention from home? Definitely, it is the role of teachers. If the parents are not taking care, I'll tell you very honestly, those mothers who are sitting or the fathers who are sitting, that boys outside there are predators. They are animals. They are there looking at vulnerable girls and they want to create relationships with them. And they create this emotional package with them. So we have hundreds of messages of girls. You know, the messages, you'll be shocked to listen to the messages. The girl said, a boy wanted to have a relationship with me. He told me, send me a photo like this, like this, like this. Qasam of Imam Ali, qasam of Quran, I will not share it with anybody. And the same guy started blackmailing the girl after she sent that photo to her. So girls are sending messages where the boy had relationship for 6 years. He told he'll get married to me. Boy is never serious. Majority of the time he's playing with the girl. And now he says, I don't want to get married. When मेरे जब parents बोलेंगे मैं parents के खिलाफ नहीं जा सकता हूँ. Okay, you need to explain, you need to talk to your child. Okay, there was a survey. This is the last thing. There was a survey in US, where girls and boys, they asked the question, can girls and boys be friends? Can girls and boys be friends? So the girls, whenever they asked this question to the girls, they said, yes, yes, I have so many friends. And we have no relations, and we have no intentions. So the same question when they went and asked the boys said, no, we cannot be friends. Okay? Steve Harvey is a famous reporter in America. He's a famous personality. He said, I don't have any girlfriends, friends as girls. Because boys never have a relationship as a friend with a girl until and unless they want to have a relation with her. What they did in this survey, it's on YouTube, you can watch it. They took the phone and asked the girl, you have a friend, you think he doesn't have any intention to have a relationship with you? She said, yes, yes. She said, call the most trusted person that you think he doesn't have any intention to have a relation with you. Call that person. They called, all the girls called that person and said, I am interested in having a relationship with you. All of them said yes. So girls and boys, he says, that famous personality says, and this is true as well, boys are interested, they're making friends, and they're waiting for an opportunity. Girls don't think like this. Girls think, genuine che, he's caring about me, he's so careful, he's so nice, he's taking care of me, he's giving me attention, he's giving me appreciation, he's such a nice person, he's such a... So this emotional bondage that she has makes her to do things which she otherwise would not do. So if you know that girls who are being trapped, or if you know, even boys, this thing can happen with boys also. I mean, from the other side, we know that boys send us messages saying that there are girls who have 4 to 5 relationships at the same time. Why? Because they want to test out who is the best amongst them. So, either way, either side, it is the role of teachers and role of parents to make sure that the world that we live in, the problems that we face are severe. I'm not here to make you hopeless and saying, क्या मौलाना ये सब बात बोल रहे हैं, हम लोग को कितना डर लग रहा है. Okay, डर लगना चाहिए because real है. But we need to go back to the basics. That is Quran, Ahlul Bayt, Azadari, being good parents, creating positive environment in the society, positive environment in the house, ensuring that we work on the media, ensuring that we are able to counter the issues that are created within the media. If we work hard enough, because our religion is based on fitrat, we will win. Eventually, inshallah, we will win. Thank you very much. I think time ho gaya, 8:44 ho gaya. Okay, if you have questions, yes. Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक यू मौलाना साहब, आपने अपना नॉलेज और एक्सपीरियंस हमारे साथ शेयर किया और आप इतने दूर से आए. अल्लाह सुब्हानहू ताला आपको इसका अजर दे एंड खुदा कुव्वा इंशाअल्लाह. सेकंड वन, आपकी टोटल जो स्पीच थी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह वो यही था कि हम एक सॉफ्ट वॉर में हैं, हम इसको एक्सेप्ट करें या इसको न करें, उसका इफ़ेक्ट हमारी लाइफ और हमारे बच्चों पे पड़ रहा है और वो चीज़ें नज़र भी आ रही हैं. तो जो चीज़ हम इस कम्युनिटी में देखते हैं और दूसरी कम्युनिटीज़ में देखते हैं, हमें देखना ये होगा कि हमारे बच्चों का मोस्टली टाइम कहाँ पे स्पेंड हो रहा है. तो ये वॉर जिसके साथ हम लड़ रहे हैं अभी, तो मैं ये समझता हूँ कि हमारे बच्चों का जो ज़्यादातर टाइम है वो स्कूल में स्पेंड होता है. फिर उसके बाद जो बिग नंबर हमारे बच्चों का होता है वो मदरसा में आकर पेरेंट्स बच्चों को भेजते हैं और वो वहाँ पे स्पेंड करते हैं. देन उससे बड़ा फिर टाइम बच्चों का पेरेंट्स के साथ स्पेंड होता है. तो पेरेंट्स के हवाले से आपने फोकस किया और आपने पेरेंट्स की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज़ भी बताई कि वो उनको क्वालिटी टाइम दें, उनके साथ जो है वो एक्टिविटीज़ उनके साथ ऐसी एक्टिविटीज़ के जो आप कह सकते हैं कि बेहतरीन हैं वो उनके साथ अंजाम दें, तो कम से कम उनकी अटेंशन जो है और उनका फोकस जो है वो उस चीज़ से कम होगा और इधर आएगा। तो मैं ये सजेस्ट करूँगा और आप भी शायद अगर आप इस चीज़ को देखें कि स्कूल में अगर ये अवेयरनेस दी जाए कि सोशल मीडिया का डिसएडवांटेज क्या है और इसका एडवांटेज क्या है, और ये चीज़ें प्रॉपरली और कंटिन्यूसली अगर चलती रहें, तो मैं समझता हूँ हमारे आने वाले जो हमारे बच्चे हैं, जो हमारे इस वक्त के जो स्टार्स हैं, या इसी तरह स्कूल के अंदर, तो उसका एक अच्छा इफ़ेक्ट और एक पॉजिटिव इफ़ेक्ट जो है वो हमारे बच्चों तक पहुँचेगा। तो मैं ये समझता हूँ दूसरे सब्जेक्ट के साथ साथ सोशल मीडिया, हाउ टू यूज़ इंटरनेट, इसके हवाले से प्रॉपर क्लासेस जो हैं वो स्कूल के अंदर एज लिमिट को सामने रखते हुए अगर ये हों तो उसका अच्छा इफ़ेक्ट आएगा। थैंक यू सो मच आपके टाइम का और आपके तमाम तार एक्सपीरियंस का बहुत शुक्रिया।
जज़ाकल्लाह, शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत। मौला आप लोगों सबको सलामत रखे, इंशाअल्लाह दुआओं में याद रखिएगा। जज़ाकल्लाह।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि तआला व बरकातहू। Pela Maulana, Jazakumullah khair for your talks, which really benefited. Like in responsibility, the number one is parents.
Yes.
This everyone should know and understand. Second thing, you have mentioned many things, but I don't want to cross again. I want just to say, there should be a replacement. Example, आप बोला कि cartoons. अभी हमारे पास कौन सा इस्लामिक कार्टून्स है? It has to be formed. And इधर तंजानिया में और इधर हमारा माहौल इतना नहीं है जितना आपके जगह में है, या इस्लामिक कंट्रीज है, उधर से अवेकनिंग होना चाहिए। एंड फाइट के ये लोग जो करता है वो ठीक नहीं, हम बनाएंगे अगेंस्ट ऑफ दिस, दैट विल बी फाइन। थर्ड थिंग्स मौलाना, हमारे पास अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह कुरान चैनल्स है डिफरेंट एरिया में, पाकिस्तान में है, इंडिया में है, उर्दू में ट्रांसलेशन है, मैनी कुरान चैनल्स हम देखते हैं। लेकिन प्रॉब्लम ये है कि हमारे घर में ये नहीं रखते हैं, लेकिन बच्चा आएंगे तो हम बोलेंगे कि पहला इसको कार्टून देना है, कार्टून्स ऑन कर दो। दैट इज़ व्हाट इज़ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट जनरली, वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट स्पेशल, generally. So if we keep these channels of Quran, of anashid or dua or something, the children will not even divert to that. They will control the way you say that, the way you give tarbiyat, they will grow the way it is. Yes. The fourth thing is, Sayyidina, बच्चा जो है हम जितना हम देंगे वो लेंगे। So हमको क्या देना चाहिए और क्या वो लेना है, वो भी very important to understand. Fifth is our community schools. We have our schools in Dar es Salaam, in Arusha, in many places. This topic, it has to be given to the schools, and especially of our schools which has got the name of Islam, name of our Imam. I heard just now recently one country or somewhere that there's a name of school of Islam. They said, no, we have to remove this because they are not practicing. So up to this level we are reaching. So how we have to control and go ahead with our principles which we want to make it. Lastly, Sayyidina, ये cartoons जो है, आप बोला कि at least how many minutes they can be given?
Say 1 hour to
which 9. Type of cartoons?
Positive cartoon.
Positive.
Which is monitored. First Islamic, if you have, yeah. You, I mean, Alhamdulillah, आपने बोला कि हम लोगों ने खुद यूसुफ और मरियम बनाया है, एक एनिमेशन सीरीज है, फर्स्ट ये एनिमेशन सीरीज है, जिसमें बच्चे को स्टोरी के अंदर जैसे ईरान बनाएगा तो वो ऐसा नहीं बनाएगा, ये कोई और कंट्री बनाएगी। हम लोगों ने क्या किया, वी हैव मेड अ कार्टून वेयर देयर आर 2 Shia girls, 1 Shia girl and 1 Shia boy, brothers and sisters, and then we have Hindu and Christian in a school, and then every episode we teach them one Islamic value. So there are 23 episodes that we have created on that. We have songs and rhymes and poems for kids, like जो nursery rhymes रहती है, we have made that. So बच्चे लोगों को आप लोग वो दिखा सकते हैं अपने मदरसे में, अपने वहाँ पर सबील टून्स के नाम का चैनल है। एक चीज़ ये है कि हम लोगों को डिपेंड नहीं करना चाहिए कि ईरान को या कोई बाहर की कंट्री क्या करेगी. हमारी प्रॉब्लम है, हमको खुद सॉल्व करना चाहिए, बिकॉज जो हमारी लोकलाइज्ड प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, दे विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड आवर लोकलाइज्ड प्रॉब्लम्स. So we need to invest in our media ourselves. We need to make sure whether it is school, whether it is madrasa. So for example, in madrasa, we have madrasa, right? In madrasa, in 2000, in the year of 90 or 2000, we were teaching. We are in 2025. What change have we made? How are we using media and technology to teach our kids? हम लोग अभी तक एक ज़माना था जब हम लोग मसाला पीसते थे तो वो सील बत्ते पे पीसते थे. जब मिक्सर आ गया तो कोई सील बत्ते पे नहीं पीसता है, लेकिन अभी भी हम लोग दीन को सील बत्ते पे पीस रहे. वी डोंट वांट टू यूज द टेक्नोलॉजी. द क्वेश्चन इज, आप बोल रहे हैं कि हम लोगों को सॉन्ग्स, ऑल्टरनेटिव्स ये बनाना चाहिए. अभी यूसुफ और मरियम वी मेड द पर मिनट कॉस्ट, प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट इज $300. So we made 300, if you make 300 minutes cartoon, it is $90,000. तो तुमान की वजह से थोड़ा सस्ता हो गया, but still around $60,000-70,000 is only for 300 minutes. We need alternatives of 10,000 minutes. If they have hundreds of thousands, you need at least 5,000 minutes cartoon that your kids, so they don't get bored. But for that, we need to invest into media. We need to create different blocks of our needs, and for all our needs, we need to create different kind of answers to them. So definitely I agree with you that Quran, alhamdulillah, we created Quran in Urdu, Quran in Gujarati, so we have a different channel of Quran. But for the kids and Quran, it's a completely different need. So every need that we have, the advantage that you have, you made a madrasa in which 200 people can study or 500 people can study. But if you make a media product, one of our video has 1 billion view, not million, 1 billion. You can make something which can influence 1 billion people in the world. That is the kind of impact you can have. So in media, if you invest, we need to invest based on our needs, not be dependent के ईरान कुछ करेगा, वो सऊदी कुछ करेगा. No, हमें करना है. मेरे बच्चे का प्रॉब्लम है, I will solve it. बिकॉज ईरान में जो कार्टून्स बनते हैं, उन लोगों की अलग एक कल्चर अलग है, उन लोगों के बात करने का, उन लोगों की प्रॉब्लम्स अलग हैं. वो हमारी प्रॉब्लम्स को नहीं समझते हैं. वहाँ कॉस्मोपॉलिटन एनवायरनमेंट नहीं है, वहाँ हिंदू मुस्लिम साथ में नहीं रहते हैं. दे हैव अ डिफरेंट प्रॉब्लम देन वी हैव. सो उनके कार्टून में दे डोंट वांट टू टीच एनीथिंग डायरेक्टली, बिकॉज उनका पूरा कार्टून ही इस्लामिक है. हम लोगों को we want to teach them directly. This is Quran, this is Ahle Bayt, this is Panjatan, this is 14 Masumin. We want to. So our concept of media work is very different to people who are living in a Muslim country. So we need to work. We cannot pass the back on somebody else and say this is your work, they need to do it. No, we need to do it. Yes, if there is positive work created by anybody else, we should use it. But it's our responsibility to solve our own problem. We cannot depend on somebody else to solve our problem.
But Sayyidina, we need a person like you or other also, so that we compile together thoughts, views, and then we do something. Otherwise, we will be just talking, and you will go, and we will just sitting here, and we are busy in our life. And don't blame only kids, children. Also, you have to blame elderly people.
Yes.
They are busy in their life.
Yes.
And not only that busy business or not, they are busy in many things. Maybe you will understand more to what I want to tell you.
Yes.
But this should be two ways, not one way.
Yes.
Every day we are complaining youths.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am thinking what we can do, we are doing. We have 12 different channels for kids, for elders, for Quran, for Ahkam, for anything, whatever you think. We have channels, we are working on it based on our capacity. So if there are more people who are interested in media work, I am at your service, inshallah. We can sit together. We are working, people can support us. Or if people are interested to create their own media, we can support them. Both the way support is possible. Even Swahili language, media work is needed. I went to different places and I saw that what kind of potential that you have in media work in Swahili. So whatever you want to do, media is a big tool for you to reach millions of people using less resources. So at the moment, our concept needs to be there that media is available and we need to use it. And those people who are interested, we are not just talking, we are alhamdulillah working on the way we can. the resources that we have, based on that, alhamdulillah, 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 our reach is good, we are working on it, and we are reaching people, but not, not to the extent that is possible, but alhamdulillah, we are working. So those people who are interested, we are interested. We are already there, we are already fighting, we are already working. We can either guide you or you can support us. We can guide you, you make your own content, or content that we are making, you can support us so that we can make more content. Inshallah, we'll recite Dua Imam-e-Zamana, and after that I am available for those who want to go, they can go. And inshallah, I can sit with people who are interested to talk. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma qul waliyyaka al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa al-Aba fi hazihi as-sa'at wa fi kulli sa'a waliyyan wa hafizan wa qa'idan wa nasiran wa dalilan wa 'aynan hatta tuskinahu warzuqatahu wa tumatti'u fiha tawila bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Jazakallah. Thank you very much for everyone.